Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 614. Hopefully, you guys have had a great Sunday. I've got a great guest for you this evening. You will find him on IG as Big Nose Genetics. Sorry about that. You want to tell us how you're doing, and of course, maybe again once more where they can find you, my friend?
Hey guys, this is Big Nose Genetics. As my man Eagle here said, it's my first time on a little live like this. So I'm a little nervous, but hey, the nervousness will go away. Um, I'm from New York and I'm a small batch grower, and it's just my passion to grow this beautiful plant. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Right on. A lot of great growers in there. It's a good place to be right now is in New York with the way things are just kind of budding there. I like to call them the cowboy days of cannabis. I believe you guys are still going through there. So cheers to you, and I hope that right off the bat, much success uh, there in New York.
Yeah, I know New York was one of the first people to start farming hemp way back in the day, and now it's starting to happen again. But I don't know why it ever stopped. It was so beautiful. A lot of weird things going on, but now it's legal, and I just want to do things the right way and do them legal. And it's the most beautiful thing, I honestly think. Yeah. I just want people to
So
experience organic medicine.
that's the best way. That is the best way. So I start this thing off right where I usually do, right in the beginning. When did you fall in love with this plant, or when did you initially come across? When was the first time you used? You had to start your journey somewhere. We might as well start it there.
So I want to say the first time was in like high school, like 10th grade. I smoked this beautiful plant and I got an abundance of giggles and munchies. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I didn't really, it wasn't like a lot of smoking, but it was like once in a while, it just me and my friends would be walking in the woods and smoke some weed and just laugh and ride our bikes and do whatever we did when we were kids. And it was pretty cool. And the first time it was a pretty cool experience. So it was a good friend. He's not alive anymore, but I always remember when I smoke weed sometimes, like the first time I smoked weed was with this kid Gavin, and we would ride BMX bikes all the time, and it was a pretty good experience. We smoked weed behind a supermarket on a like by a dumpster, and it was like we thought we were a badass at the time, man. But it was so funny. It's like 10, 12 years, 15 years ago almost. So it's a pretty good memory. I guess my first time. But
Oh
now I
yeah.
use it more medically because I am a veteran and I have some pain conditions that it really does help with. And I'd rather smoke weed than do any type of pills, honestly.
I'm super glad to hear that. I'm not a fan of big pharma in any kind of way. I kind of see it to just be like a hamster wheel. Yeah, never getting better, but constantly running or trying to. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah,
can heal yourself with this amazing plant, hell yeah, I'm all about that.
yeah, it's a
Congratulations to
beautiful
you.
thing. Yeah, it's really
So
amazing
I
what this
guess,
plant does. Sorry.
sorry, the delay is a little bad this evening. So I guess from the first time, kind of work ourselves forward here. Uh, would you say it was a once in a while thing? Uh, how often did it happen? After that first time.
Well, in high school, it was like after that first experience, it kind of led me into trying it more. And I hung out with people who were like selling it or whatever. And then I just started smoking more. I became like a little stoner, and it was pretty cool. And I, as I got older, I learned the medicinal values of the plant and how sacred of a plant it actually is. So I actually respect the plant now, and I grow it with love. It's my passion. So it's like I'm more connected with the plant. And when I grow the weed and I smoke it, I feel like it's giving me the high that my body needs because I grew the plant with love. It's like it's hard to explain, but a lot of growers don't really, I guess, grasp that, like spirituality type thing.
Oh, for sure. I think that's where I think you may be wrong. To be honest with you, but I don't want to. I don't like to say that. But well, I don't want to put words in their mouth, so we'll just kind of lead on and we'll talk about that when we get there. So at one point, as you know, you move forward, did you kind of realize, was it before or after the Navy, the service there, actually kind of the medicinal side of things of the plant?
Well, it was definitely after the Navy because during the Navy, I had encountered a knee condition. I was running to I was on duty on the boat. We were on our, I think it was our first deployment in the Mediterranean Sea. I was on the USS Mason for 4 years, and it was a very beautiful experience. But on my second deployment, I saw some combat. But not to stray away from the story, on the first deployment, I was running on the ship, and we were doing some high speed maneuvers, and I was running and slammed my knee into this metal beam on the side of the ship while I was running, and it hurt really bad, and it actually fractured my knee a little bit. So I don't think it's ever healed properly because I didn't want to get surgery on it. But I couldn't run as good as I used to. So once I got out of the Navy, I went back to smoking and I was able to run again. And I barely felt any pain, which was a miracle to me. So I'll go on a jog once in a while, and it's not really that, I guess, life changing, but it's the fact that I'm able to do these things is just amazing. And like normally it just hurts just moving my leg. So when I'm smoking, it helps so much with this pain.
But at this point, I just kind of want to stop and, thank you for your service. I both respect your time and all that for protecting our country. So I have much respect for you and thank you for your service right off the bat. But moving forth there, um, I again, was it an alternative? I mean, did they try to offer you the pharmaceutical side of things, or because that's one of the things that I really think that's messed up about this whole system is I really believe that the vets should be offered first and foremost cannabis, not necessarily because a lot of times vets are worried about losing benefits if they try cannabis. You know what I mean? So did they make you go through the hoops before you said enough's enough?
Yes, they for about a year and a half before I was getting discharged. It was a year, like I started this process with my knee pain, uh, approximately like a year and a half before I was being discharged, and they were sending me to physical therapy, and I was like, it just hurts bending my knee, and it's a grinding and a cracking of like the bone, I guess. It's rubbing, and they were like, all right, we're gonna put you on painkillers. This is it's like a 20 milligram, and I was like really not into the whole pill thing, and it was all I had. So I tried it, and it worked a little bit, but the pain was still there, and it just wasn't for me. The pills, it would make me nauseous or not want to eat, and I just didn't enjoy that feeling, and it just made me feel like I wasn't there. So I decided that I didn't even want to take the medicine, but I told them I was taking it, and it wasn't really helping. So I didn't really get far with the whole treatment that they were giving me. And I do wish that there was a way the military would allow cannabis use when you're not on duty, because that would have helped me with my pain, on weekends or when I wasn't working. It would have helped a lot more than taking a painkiller. The
I
VA is pretty
completely
strict.
agree. And like I said, it's kind of shitty that it's an easy either or type situation for most when they come back, because I believe wholeheartedly that cannabis is a better alternative to what they're offering. Even like you said, even in service, it seems like they would want you a little more clear headed than a lot of what them other medications can offer.
Yeah, and people, I mean, I don't. Everyone has different prescriptions and everything. There was people on Xanax, Vicodin, whatever they had to take, they took it on a daily basis if they were prescribed it. And I imagine someone having a little bit of, marijuana would be a little more clear-headed, because I could function perfectly fine, and I'm not a lazy stoner. I go to the gym every day and get my workout in for an hour, sometimes two, if I have the time. And I'm able to function and do all the chores and tasks I got to do throughout the day. So it's kind of a bad stereotype they give us, weed smokers.
So at this point, is it cannabis in general, or is it kind of strain specific that you find that is working for your pain?
I really love hybrids because you get the best of both worlds. You get that energized feeling when you need it, and if you have the pain, it also helps with the pain. But sometimes at night, I really do like a strong indica, so I'm not feeling my back pain or knee pain, and I could just relax and pass out within 30 minutes. That's like my ideal nighttime strain. And then I grow a bunch of different ones. I got hybrids that are mostly sativa dominant. So when I want to conquer the day, I could just smoke a sativa and be full of energy. And that's what I enjoy. I'm just a big ball of energy over here in New York. So, but yeah, I do enjoy all types of weed. Some of them are way too strong for me. And I've had some, like, I don't know what it was, maybe biscotti or runs something. It's like 34%. And I was like, holy cow. But I'm more or less just like, I enjoy growing it at home, and it's not as potent, but it's very good medicinal properties. And it does the job for me.
At what point did when and why did you start growing? Was it the lack of being able to find quality medicine or find it at all? Uh, what made you turn that corner?
So the reason I started growing was because I just put a seed in the ground like a few years ago. And well, actually, I started growing in like 11th or 12th grade in my mom's house. And it was in a closet in my bedroom. And my mom caught me because one day when I was in school, I had a blanket over a lamp, and it wasn't the smartest thing, and it started burning. And she was like, "What's this smell?" She went into my room and found my little weed grow. I was doing two regs plants. I found seeds and stems, and that's when I got in trouble for weed. I was like, "Oh my god, it's like not that serious." But I was a kid, and she was like, "You can't do this. It's illegal," and all this stuff. And then I started growing outdoors the past few years, and I've been practicing and practicing. And I learned that I really love using marijuana because it works, and it's just so beautiful to watch grow.
And see, this is where I got that. This is where I guess I agree and disagree. You know what I mean from what I said earlier, because I think realistically, the cultivation side of cannabis is the most impactful and most medicinal side of cannabis, to be honest with
Yes,
you.
it's very
Uh,
therapeutic.
yeah, it is. So that's what I think. That's why I had to disagree, because I honestly think once people, people can use it for medicine and, find the value in it. But it
Yeah,
isn't until people trying to actually grow the plant that they come with a new respect for it and find that value in it, that bond with it that you were talking about there. That
yes. So
I
that
think a
that
lot of
bond,
people do have it, you know what I mean? But I don't think it is until they actually start growing in that first crop, to be honest with you, that everything changes.
yeah, it takes a few grows because the first crop I grew, it was like really leafy, and I harvested it early. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I see some buds. So I cut a plant down, but I think it was like 40 days too early. And I really started falling in love with it because every plant has different needs. And it's like, it's different than going to the drugstore and like, oh, I need, my pills. And being outside with these plants, you see one's growing a little faster, or if you want to top a plant to get more branches, it's like so cool to just be able to play with these plants and get rid of stress at the same time. You're in your garden, and it's like it gives you something to do, you know, keeps you busy.
It is most definitely a Zen place, that's for sure. And one of the other things I'd like to point out about the cultivation side of things is, especially when you're using it as a medicine, you're already struggling to, you know, your everyday life, get by in your everyday life. And one of the hardest things about being sick, or in some cases handicap, is that I can't, not being able to do things. That in itself, the word, I find to be very crippling. But on the other foot, the I can, you know what I mean, side of things is very, very, very powerful. And once you get through that first cycle or two and you realize that you are cultivating your own medicine, that's that I can, and I, you know what I mean, that I can is super strong. I think that's a big additive side of cultivation, to be honest with
Yeah. So I think it definitely, if there was a way I could have the ability to have 50 acres and employ veterans with PTSD or something, that would be one of my dreams. But that, I think that's a few years from now. I have a few goals in mind. I want to help people. I want to heal people. I want to do yoga and meditation. I want to learn all this stuff so I could offer like it, gardening should be like, it should be legal to grow this plant. I don't know why the Fed is so hard on people when God simply put it here for a reason, and it does help people. There's people with much worse conditions than me. I just have a minor back pain and a knee condition, and there are people who really do need this medicine, and their insurance doesn't even cover it. So it's pretty sick, honestly, when it should cover it because it's medicine.
I agree. I totally agree. So, what are some of the strains that you started growing when you picked things back again, up again? Want to tell me, did you start back outdoors, pick back up
Yeah.
indoors?
Yeah. So right now I got, um, so we're allowed to grow 12 plants legally per household here in the state of New York. And I got, so far I got like 8 going. I just harvested the creme brulee, which is an indica dominant cultivar, and it's pretty good. It smells great. It smells like coffee. Tastes good, and it puts me asleep in like 30 minutes if I want to go to bed, which is awesome. And it makes me feel pretty heavy and relaxed. So I like that for nighttime. And I got a bunch of other strains going right now. I have one more in the tent. It's called the Yaberry. It's a apricot jelly with gelato dream. So it's supposedly 70% sativa. And the blue dream, I imagine, is why it's mostly sativa. So it should be a nice head high and then fade to a body relaxation, which is pretty enjoyable for me. And I got so many other strains. I got GMO mixed with strawberry banana. I got peach tree by Perfect Tree Seeds. And then I also have their Capri Sun going. So that's going to be some fruity terps. And I have chocolate haze going by Amnesia Seeds. I have a few more. I got so I have so many seeds I just got in the mail because one of my really good buddies, he sent me over a pack because I lost my seeds when I was moving back and forth from Oregon. So I'm just thinking of what I germinated. He sent me over a seed. It's like blueberry sherbet mixed with Aussie Kush, and me and him collabed on the name and called it Blue Kangaroo Poo. So that's pretty cool, and I'm happy that we came up with that funny name because it's good when you get to network with people. I really like that and come together as a community. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, the cannabis community is huge, man. I think they've been very impactful in my life, and I think they're very impactful in a lot of others too. So I think it's pretty cool that you involving the community right out the bat. So cheers to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I always reach out. I like people's pictures and tell them you're doing great, you know. And if they don't know what they're doing, I'm like, maybe, you know, I see people harvesting their plants that are like full of green life and it looks like they still have nutrients. I tell them maybe next time flush it out a little and let it rock for another week or two. And I like when people, you know, maybe criticize my grows because someone commented, oh, you're giving too many nutrients. And then I realized I was. So it helped me out when someone came at me a little bit. And that's what I like about the cannabis community. Some people have more knowledge than me. I'm not the most knowledgeable. I didn't read a lot of books, but I just learned by doing and by touching these plants and working with them every day. And it's all about like experience, I guess. So the more you do, the more you learn. And I'm trying to stay away from nutrients because it's not organic in real life. So it's just hard. It works so good with them.
That's one thing too, man. You definitely find your place in the garden once you kind of open up that organic store. You find a whole new respect for the plant as well. So, from the beginning, organics or just dipping your feet into?
What was that?
From the beginning, have you been growing with organics, or you just kind of dipping your feet into?
Well, I mean, ever since I started growing, my first grow, I used Miracle Grow soil, which I didn't know was bad. And then I learned that it has a slow release chemical or a nutrient system. And it is, in fact, I guess, bad because it could end up in the buds you smoke. So I learned that sometimes cocoa and soil blend is a little better. So right now I'm using a cocoa core and soil potting mix by Fox Farms, which I like using because I see rapid vegetative growth with it. And outdoors, I had a plant that was 20 days old. It grew to 5 feet tall in like 25 days. So I was like, this is pretty spectacular stuff. So I like running their soil and cocoa mix. That's what I see success with. And sometimes I like doing auto flowers because they're so easy and low maintenance. And you could get a good yield. I got almost 4 ounces off my cream brulee. And that was in a time period of 4 months. And it was pretty easy. I just had to water it, tell it I loved it. And you know, watch her bloom.
So how's the consistency with the autos? Have you run the same strain multiple times and found the quality to be the same, or is it kind of like regular cannabis seeds where there's a little bit of variety? You know, this one wasn't so
Yeah.
high. What's your experience been with it?
So I've ran a bunch of autoflowers, but never had a successful grow with one out. I usually do outdoors. This is my first year ever doing indoors. So I got some buds that maybe I'll put it on the camera. I don't know if it's going to pick it up, but it came out pretty spectacular. And outdoors, I've had nothing but issues with my autos that I did run. I had like mold that it was like seeding up, or like I don't know what it was. It was just an issue with the genetics. So then I realized you got to pay, I guess, a little more for the better seeds, or make better connections for feminized seeds so you don't have any issues. So I like running photo period strains as well, because the autos are great if you're on a time budget and you just need a big harvest quick. That's like the best bang for your buck is autoflower. But I like photo period because I could play God and just control the light in the tent. So that's what I really like. And they smell better, they smoke better, I think. And they don't have that ruderalis in them.
I like the photo period myself, just for the fact that once you do find that winner, that you can keep it potentially for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that's the plus and minuses, I guess, of using cannabis for the medicine is, you know, I guess that golden ticket probably is out there for you. You just have to hunt for it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so yeah, once you do find it, hopefully you are running a regular, so you don't have to
Well,
go through the hunt.
last year I found my favorite strain I ever smoked in my life, and I can't find it anywhere. It was called skunkberry, and it was a very, very beautiful blueberry scented weed. And it was like crystally bluish green. And the high it gave me was like the most amazing medical high I've ever gotten from marijuana. And I was laughing at everything. Me and my friends were driving around. It was just everything was so funny. Colors were like more vivid. It was like insane. I'm like, I didn't know weed could do that. And it made my whole body like felt like I was floating. So I'm trying to find skunkberry again, and I would love to run it if I could ever get my hands on it. It like literally could change lives, that strain, I feel like. It's probably one of my
Hopefully somebody here is can point you in the direction or has a few they can send your way. That's one
yeah,
thing I've
problem.
noticed here about the community lately, man. Uh, they've been very generous with strains and passing seeds and shit like that the last few years. Really heart touching, to be honest with you.
Yeah, people are very friendly, and if someone's willing to send me even one seed, I'll show so much love, and I'll grow it, and I'll take pictures and tag them in it. Like I got my buddy Memphis that he sent me some seeds, so I'm gonna tag him as his plant that he gave me is growing. I'm gonna post it and be like, yo, my boy gave me these seeds. They're doing great. And like just update him on it, because he's can't wait. I have a heart-shaped garden that I'm doing this year. So I just want to dedicate my love to weed, and just put it in a heart-shaped garden, I guess. I just had an idea. I'm like, let me do it. I like doing things differently a little bit. Very
I
artistic,
think
I
it's
want to
cool.
say.
I think it's cool.
Thank you.
Nice, nice. You ever thought about at some point kind of manipulating the plant and training it into, something? Not necessarily bonsai, but you can, make
Yeah.
shapes or whatever, train it into something as it goes.
Yeah, so one of my plants I was training, I like tucked all the branches under, and it's outside now, so it doesn't have the strings pulling them down. So I had to cut them. And now it's just growing normal. But I had the branches tucked under each other and they were like starting to grow upwards, and it looked like a little can of bonsai. It was pretty cool. And I wish I could keep it going. Maybe outdoors tomorrow when I got some time after work and everything, I'll get out there and play, give it low stress training, because it would be cool to have like a big 10-foot tall plant with all these branches wrapped around each other with huge buds on them at the end of the harvest. It would look pretty cool.
I think at that point I would gently harvest it and try to leave as much of the carcass so I could, spray it with lacquer or some shit, try to save it.
Oh yeah. And people put their plants, like their most beautiful ones, in like I guess a lacquer. They harden it up and put it in like it looks like it's just preserved, which is pretty cool.
So, who are some of your favorite breeders currently? What are some of your favorite strains that you've found
So
right now?
I'm from New York. I really don't have a favorite breeder right now, but I do like, I just started Soulfire Gardens, and I like their orange cannoli strain. I wanna grow that. I'm growing a Jesus OG, and I want to cross it with with the orange cannoli, and I'm gonna make my first strain called Holy Cannoli, and that's my dream. I just want to make something cool. I wanted kosher kush because I'm Jewish, and I wanted to call it the Holy Cannoli only for that reason. But Jesus OG will work. He's a good dude, and he has his own strain, so it's pretty cool. I'm excited to make
Right.
it.
Sounds like a winner, man. Sounds like a winner. Good name too. Another good name. I can dig it.
The Holy Cannoli, it should taste good. It should get you really lifted, and I just want a weed that makes people happy when they smoke it. That's my goal, is to like send happiness through flower, through nugs, or like whatever they use. If you make lotion from it or pills, whatever, however you consume the cannabis, I want it to just, when people consume it, to just feel better and like happy. That's my end result. Because a lot of people are stressed out, I guess. Life is kind of hard now with what's going on, but everything's getting better. I look for I look at the future, not like right now.
I can definitely appreciate that 100% as well. I still, I very much dig the Holy Cannoli. It's a very catchy name as well.
I like it. My friend's coming up with, he just created his own strains. He's making some crazy names. I'm like, bro, those are like so inappropriate, but it's like people think it's catchy, I guess. And I'm like, so he made New York Thunder cakes or something. It was like a Alaskan Thunderfuck mixed with London pound cake. So he's calling it New York pound something. I forgot. New York pound cake, New York Thunder cake. I think, I don't know. I was like, all right, cool. But I don't know what kind of strains they are. I didn't see both of them growing, so I don't know if they're gonna be like compatible, or I try to go along the lineage and look at the lineage of the strains so I could put two things together that are kind of compatible, because you don't want to have two extremes and smoke them and be all crazy. It's a lot of different effects, but I smoke so much different strains. I feel like mostly they do the same thing. some make you laugh, some make you hungry, some make you sad, and some relieve pain really well. So I'm trying to find the best of all of them. I want to like travel the world and go to Colombia and check out their landrace strains. So I got a lot of things on my bucket list that I got to start doing because I want to, I guess, pheno hunt. That's my thing.
So, how do you use that works best for your pain? To be honest with you, do you find the edibles work best? Lotions, just smoking? What
So,
works best for you?
so I'll put like a little bit of lotion on my knee and it'll basically give a warming sensation and like it'll as if make the cartilage that's normally grinding, it makes it feel as if it's not. And it's like just like a little less, and then I don't really feel it because the THC is doing its thing. And it works very well. And I'll smoke the weed helps for like that body high and it really gets rid of the pain. I'd rather smoke than do any sort of pills. Um, only for personal preference. I don't have any negative things to say about people who do consume medicine pills, but everyone does what works for them. And if people find out that weed works, and that makes me happy. I just want to help people try things out.
So, do you prefer the indoors or outdoors? You've had a little bit of experience with both. Do you prefer the control of the indoors? Do you prefer the outdoor sun? The quality's debatable. you know, there's
Yeah,
each on that fence.
the quality difference is I guess the density of the nugs, but outdoors I like. But last year we had some really wacky humidity at the end of the season. It was like 93%, and I lost basically all my crops. So I kind of didn't enjoy outdoors this last year, and I lost a lot of very valuable plants that were going to produce some amazing medicine. And then I lost my seeds slightly after that. So all those strains I no longer can grow because I don't know where I placed my seeds. And I kind of like indoors, but I have like a basic setup because I didn't I spent a lot of money on it, but I didn't spend as much as I should have. So I didn't get the whole air conditioning setup and whatever to control the climate in the tent. So all I have is the inline fan and a light. So I gotta make it work, and it's doing pretty good. I honestly like indoors, but the electricity cost is pretty high in New York. So to run my light at 100%, I think it's 120 a month for just one light. So or like $150, something like that. I think it's 600-700 watts. But the buds are pretty nice. I'll see if I can get a nice nug. I'll put it on the camera. They're like pretty big, pretty dense nugs.
Nice.
Smells pretty good. So yeah, I'm definitely doing some nice gardening outside this year. I'm gonna get a bunch of mixed flowers. I want to put a couple exotic flowers in the garden. I also want to grow vegetables, so I'll probably be posting tutorials like how to start your garden outside once I get the seeds and stuff. And whoever follows me, they'll just follow my journey, and it's all love. I just want to help people, and it's my biggest mission right now.
It's by far the most rewarding I have found in my journey, anyways. So, I would, as we were talking earlier, I was thinking to myself, we definitely kind of share a common dream. of trying to get more and more people growing. It's well, I heard you mention as far like vets and stuff, helping wanting to help with vets come back with PTSD and stuff. I've heard some studies that they actually knew in the 70s
Yeah.
that the power of horticulture had with vets and stuff, and they just kind of like did nothing with it, buried it. And as I've cultivated cannabis myself, I've seen and kind of talked about the power in it. And I think it would be cool. And I've talked a little bit about it myself, running kind of a rehab type grow nonprofit, even if it were hemp, you know what I mean? Something that if it were uh, uh, addict sensitive, I guess would say, you know what I mean? Somebody that necessarily couldn't be around it, they could be around hemp, you know what I mean? And still,
Yeah.
but I think it would be a very rewarding adventure. So we kind of share the same dream. I hope, man, I hope it takes off for you. Do you find that more and more vets are being, because we kind of again touched about the risk earlier on. Do you find that more and more vets are being more open-minded about cannabis first versus pharmaceutical bullshit?
Yeah. I have some friends that are vets, but some of them, their career choices, I guess they can't use marijuana when they got out. So I do air conditioning and heating with one of my buddies, and I just chose to also grow on the side because it's a passion I have. But what was I gonna say? I there's a lot of, I'm going off topic a little, but there's like some people when I was in the military that had drug problems, and I wish they would have been able to smoke weed, and got dishonorably discharged for smoking weed, which is insane. I guess one time on leave or something they smoked, and it, I feel like it would help a lot of service members stay away from drugs. I don't know really where my mind is going right now with that, but I just think it should be legal. It could help so many people. I lost so many people to stupid drugs. It sucks.
Again, on this one, sadly, I'm there with you. A lot of friends, family members, uh, too many to be honest, with
Yeah.
pharmaceutical bullshit. That is most definitely my fight in cannabis these days. Is the medical benefits and to get people off of pharmaceutical drugs to replace it with cannabis.
Yeah.
It's tragic that the loop that people can get caught up in.
Well,
Good-hearted
and
people
I'm on
never see it
Instagram.
coming.
I'm on Instagram scrolling through the feed, and I see an ad, and it's get your Suboxone or whatever mailed to your door. No need for a doctor's visit. So it's like very, they're putting this on people scrolling through Instagram to get Suboxone. I don't know what I think it's like a synthetic heroin, and they're just putting it on people like, oh, it's here, grab it, get it, and it's like weed is illegal. I don't understand. It heals people. It slows the growth of cancer cells. It might even stop it if we worked hard enough to come up with a plant that had the right cannabinoids. But the big pharma will never be for it because it will stop their flow of money because they're going to cure all these diseases with weed. But the more people we can reach and tell about this beautiful plant, they'll hopefully join with us and love it. You know, even if they don't smoke every day or medicate, it, you can use it when you need it, and it's not addictive. I don't think. I just enjoy how it makes me feel.
That's another aspect as I look at it too, as far as even the people that you know, dire sick from ailments, cancers, and whatnot. You know, even if it's not brought into your life at the point where it could save, you know what I mean? If it can offer a better quality of life throughout the rest of your time, you know what I mean? And that in itself worth it.
Yeah, like if my grandfather who passed from cancer had been able to maybe medicate with medical marijuana if it was legal, he might have lived a little longer. I don't know. I was young when it happened, so I didn't really understand the situation, but I'm thinking maybe it could have gave him a second little chance. I don't know. My phone is like dying, and I lost my charger. I got probably like another 5-10 minutes left on my battery, so hang out for a little bit. I'm enjoying the conversation. It's cool. I never did one of these. So I'm camera shy. You know what I'm saying? I'm never on cameras, but it's pretty cool. You're a really nice person. I appreciate you.
Well, you're doing very well for your first time. I've heard a lot of people get nervous, but and again, like I said, I'm grateful for all the time I get. This has been a fun conversation so far. So I guess since I
Yeah,
got 10 minutes, I
I
guess
guess.
I should start going over how things roll with this. Uh,
Okay.
so basically, how things work is you do the one-on-one with me, the spotlight, which you've done. Check. So if you're interested in getting more and more into the cannabis community, getting your name out there, meeting great folks, this is how phase two works. The Zoom link that I sent you earlier on is the same link that I use for what I call the Weed Nerd World. And basically, that is open to past guests. Currently, you make 614, so that can be a combination of all the above any one night. So, any night that there will be a Weed Nerd World, which there will be tonight, hopefully, you will take us up, come hang out anytime you want. No invitation needed at this point. Oh, he lost him. Hopefully, he watches us. But with that being said, no sound bite, no whatever. But big ups to Big Nose Genetics for coming and hanging out tonight. I greatly appreciate your time. Greatly appreciate your service. I hope that your cannabis journey turns out the way you hoped it to be. Hope your genetics company wish you much success there. And hopefully your dream of helping others with cannabis all comes to fruition as well. With that being said, sorry for the short one, guys, but I'm glad we got to hang out, kick off the night. I will be back here soon. With that being said, do not forget to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I'm a living, breathing example of that. And I will see you guys here in a little bit in the Weed Nerd World. You guys, thank you for tuning in.